And since we were talking about hugging, we're gonna hug.
We're gonna hug. Okay, like air hug or real hug? This is
Awkward
so.
hugs.
I told you this is awkward.
Let's go.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Social Exchange Project. This is your host, Shangler Waldinger, and today, I'm gonna probably mess this up a little bit, but we have the coolest person. He's my new BFF.
The coolest.
He's my bestie. We have the one and only Tyler Baumgart, TeawhyB, who is a alt hip hop artist.
Yeah.
With me today, and we just met this morning, but I feel like we've been
It's just
vibing.
like we've known each other for so long.
Like we grew up together.
Yeah, exactly. Jumping on trampolines.
Yes. Well, we've got Tyler TeawhyB here with us today, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much
Thank you
for being
for having
here.
me. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're not hungover at all today.
I am not.
Totally alert. We've got a lot going on today, but
Sips coffee.
yeah. This is vodka, actually, you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today. I've got so much ground I feel like I have to cover with you, but we might have to cut some of it short just because you got several performances you're going to do with us today.
We're going to be chatting. We're going to be performing. We're going to be doing some things. No,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I got my TYB merch also. I ordered this a couple weeks ago. I just got this a few days ago, and I've been rocking it out. So what I think is really clever about this is, I don't know if you can see it, cameraman, but there's T and then a question mark, Y, and then an actual bumblebee.
Yes.
So TYB, it's super cool. So I feel like I'm official, and I'm
Also, the letters besides the T, the Y, and the B are upside down. So it's just showing emphasis that the capitalized letters are the ones that you actually pronounce for the most part. And this was my way of telling people how to pronounce TYB.
It's very
And
thoughtful.
so then we just put it on something.
A lot of care and concern went into this. I love this so much. So I guess where I want to start is tell me a little bit about your journey of becoming who you are today, a little bit about your background, and just who you are. No
My
pressure.
journey, yeah,
Political, religious beliefs, everything.
Cool. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin, so I'm from around this area kind of. I went to school at UW Eau Claire, and that's where I found myself back here. Not in school anymore, but my journey in terms of music or just myself.
Music.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got you. Sorry, yeah. It's like
You've been in the game for a little bit, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I started out writing poetry like in school, and that turned into songwriting. And I was very big into hip hop and music just in general. Like there's pictures of me when I was like 4 years old on a table with like gel shoes on, like clip-on earrings, singing New Kids on the Block and watching MTV and stuff. So I was always like, my parents always joked that I was like born to be an entertainer kind of thing. And of course, with the gel shoes and clip-on earrings, then I became gay. So it's just like one of those things. But I started freestyle rapping is kind of how I got into like music. I've never learned how to play an instrument or sing. It was never in choir or nothing like that. So
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Because when I discovered you like about a year ago, and I went way back to like 2012 when you had all this music, and I feel like you've evolved a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
your sound, even your vibe. And I was telling Phil, who's also in the room here, by the way, our friend Phil.
What's up, Phil?
Super cool guy. You'll see him next week when we got him on. But I was talking to Phil actually about how you were more of a lyrical artist, and then now you do kind of a more well-rounded sound.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Tell us a little bit about that evolution.
Yeah, definitely. So even dating back to 2012, I was doing like party hip hop, like kind of that like college hip hop thing, and I was strictly rapping. I wasn't really singing a whole lot, and I think part of that has to do with the transformation of the music, and the sound has a lot to do with me personally. So at that time, I was not out as a gay person. So, I always felt like restricted in a sense that I really couldn't talk about things that I was really feeling inside. So I kind of sheltered that and used it, talk about drinking and
partying,
smoking, and all that stuff. And it was kind of a shell of myself. And then when I came out, discovered my identity and realized it, wasn't in denial of that, and got back into music, it just took a whole different turn, and I knew what I wanted to be, and I knew who I wanted to be. So it just all kind of made sense.
Yeah. And one of the first videos I saw was Saturday.
Yeah.
That you did was an anti-bullying campaign. Take a little sip of water.
I can already tell I'm like little.
And I love the concept of the video. Can you tell us a little bit about the meaning behind that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it just kind of stemmed from an idea of wanting to involve the community. And I really wanted to tap into kind of like the high school. I feel like not a lot of musicians, kind of dig into their community that way. And
you involved high school students.
Yes. So the video was shot at North High School in Eau Claire. And I reached out to the choir teacher and asked if we could do it. And so basically the concept of the video, if you haven't seen it, is I'm wearing a dress, go out into the hallway, and I'm dancing and having a good time. And the kids, the teenagers in the video are throwing stuff at me, putting signs on my back, kind of making fun of me, doing whatever. And then by the end of the video, I get through a finish line, and then we all join up together and we start, we kind of embrace each other. And what that represents is, even in high school, and this is directly aimed at high schoolers and, middle schoolers and different things like that. But it's, hey, even if you're getting bullied because of who you are or the way that you want to look or dress or, whatever, or what you do, it doesn't mean that this is the end of the road for you. Because once you get beyond high school, you get beyond school, and you become an adult and you get to make those choices for yourself, you don't have anybody
like
to
free
address
of all
to.
that,
Exactly.
That judgment, and you're just who you are and who you're meant to be.
Exactly. So I just wanted to represent that as best as I could, because that's something that I faced in high school. I came very close to, kind of ending it at some point, and, hid from myself and different things like that, and dealt with a lot mentally. That many too. But once you get beyond that and you get beyond those social norms and those groups, you can be who you want and you can thrive and survive.
Yeah.
And
Did music help you a lot with that process too?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a good outlet, for those emotions, and expressing myself in a certain way and feeling important and special and having a task to keep your mind busy, writing and recording and performing and different stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think so.
So I want to talk about kind of your first experiences writing.
Sure.
And kind of performing. How did you decide that you were going to go this route versus the other alternative route, going to college and getting, the career and all that stuff? How did you decide, or what was that pinnacle moment that you're like, I want to do this for a living?
Well, I think the common misconception is that you can't do both.
Yeah, that's true.
And I did do both. I did graduate, and I did get a job, and I stopped doing music for a while, and then I came back to it, and I'm still doing both. But it's one of those things that if you want it to be serious, it can't be a hobby, and you can't treat it like a hobby. You have to treat it like a full-time job, and that's what I do, and that's something that keeps me motivated. But it's a fun full-time job. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects that go into it, the creation of music videos and having to write the scripts and do all this and creating promo content. And
that is one thing I don't think a lot of people realize. Like, even just us setting up yesterday for just the behind the scenes, there's so much that goes into the sound, the preparation, the writing.
You hear that, everybody? There's so much more that goes into this.
There's so much. Like, it's blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure.
Can we give some snaps for you?
I can't snap.
Okay, well,
it's pathetic. I can't do that. But there is so much that goes into it. Now, when you were starting out on this journey, did you have a lot of support from friends and family that was like, yes, you got to do this. You've got a knack for this. You've got such talent, and it's unparalleled. Did you have a lot of friends and family that supported you?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is an
Makes
important
a difference.
aspect. Yes. Because if you don't have people supporting you, it's almost like you're doing it out of spite. But my family is a big supporter. They're probably the biggest supporters of what I do, and they're always at the shows, and they're always
you got a shout out to your parents now.
Right. My mom and my dad, my sister Abby is a huge supporter. But yeah, actually my husband Greg is the one that kind of pushed me back into music. he bought me a studio setup for my birthday, kind of like as a surprise gift. And at the time I was like, oh, but I don't know if he knows like this microphone and this, different stuff like that. So, but I still use that today. So, I record everything at home, at my house.
Yeah.
You can get a cool
We
sound.
love Greg. We love you, Greg.
Yeah, we love you, Greg. Thanks for getting that microphone.
I love Controller 2, which I know you're going to be performing today.
Yes.
And that's essentially what this description of this EP is modern day, like romance and dating and not knowing if that person's into you and back and forth. And then cherry on top. Which is also one of my favorites. It's got JT vibes, I feel like.
Sure.
Justin
I've heard
Timberlake.
that,
Okay, do you like that people reference
Yeah,
that? Okay.
I mean, of course. Justin's the man. So.
Yeah, I love that song so much. But yeah, today so you're going to be performing a couple of songs to tell us about the 3 songs that you're going to be doing today.
Yes, well, I'm going to be performing Controller 2. Gosh, what do I say about that? The music video is great. If you haven't checked out the music video, check out the music video. But yeah, that's actually the song that started the EP. I had Controller 2, and I knew that that's the kind of sound I wanted to go with. Every song has a guitar in it, different things like that. So I kind of...
And Controller 2 is like a reference to video games, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so Controller 1, like Mario... Usually, like in the old school games, they were the only ones that could press start or select a level or do things like that. So Controller 1 is in control. Controller 2 doesn't have that option. Almost like a second best. It's a Michael Jordan to Scottie Pippen, Mario to Luigi kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But you can still win the game as Controller 2. The thing is, you're kind of the side piece.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very clever. Because I was wondering where that came from. And there was only just like a short reference in the song.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. I'm usually Toadette, by the way. So I don't know. Is that like Controller 95? Toadette. I don't know.
Controller 6.
Toadette.
Yeah. Vibe with me. Yeah. You're front side, woo, all in your back, woo. Not feeling bad, waving a flag, look what you drive me through. I feel like tagging you. Post us a pics of me kissing your lips. Wanna birthday, wanna renaissance, should I abandon you? If you just made up your mind, you wouldn't claim suicide. It's not a joke to recite. Bring your roses, can I see you tonight? Say it ain't so, I will not go. You might need a little time just to sober up. Well, why'd you kiss me if you over us? First you love me, now you don't. Well, that's just the way that it goes. Keep me, leave me all alone. I paid a price the way you sweat through your phone. Messing with my life, you gonna kill somebody. Hit me where it counts and now I ended up a zombie. Playing with my mind and I can't even get a sorry. Not feeling, yeah. Is that the way you treat somebody? Meet somebody, lead them on and lead their body bleeding on the ground, screaming anybody? Let me ask before I fall in too deep. Am I the only one you till you sleep? If you just made up your mind, it'd be easy just to leave you behind. It's not a joke, you reply. Lying, tell me you gon' see me tonight. Say you don't know, well I'ma still go. Open up the door just to find out you were. And tell me what was I supposed to do? To you I was Controller 2. Controller 1 makes all the selections. Controller 2 can still win the game, and we bout to. Hey, first you love me, now you don't. Well, that's just the way that it goes. Keep me, leave me all alone. I paid the price the way you swept through your phone. Ooh, man, I'm clumsy.
That was good. I like that a lot.
What's the theater thing?
That was good. Yeah.
can't even
Snaps.
It's like the poetry.
Yeah. So your name TeawhyB, I mean, I think there's like 50 meanings behind it, but obviously Tyler, like your name,
Yeah.
and then obviously through every action, what was it? Tell me about it.
Through every action, who has your back?
Yes.
Yeah. So growing up, everybody called me TY. Like all my friends, they would be like, "Yo, TY, what's good? What's good?" And then when we got into rapping, and I was going to like house parties and freestyle rapping and battling and whatnot, I had to have like a moniker. So it was TYB. I was kind of given that. And I kept that name. I've kept that name for like 12 years, and I didn't want to change it because it is personal to me. But I added the through every action, who has your back, and kind of changed the spelling and whatnot, because that is a very important phrase in my life. And it defines the music, it defines myself. And really what it's about is through every action, who has your back? Not just during the good times, it's like, oh, I got your back, dude, no worries. Like, you're doing well, things are going well for you. But also hey, I have to have this tough conversation with you, and I have your back, and you might not want to hear this right now, but I do have your back, and that's why I'm telling you this. I think that's a really big thing. And I always admire people that have the strength to have those tough conversations, whether it be human rights issues or just your behavior, maybe a borderline addiction, different things like that.
People
and
will
just
provoke that out of you and challenge you in your thought processes.
Yep.
I think those are like the truest people, because how do you grow if people aren't challenging you? If you have yes men all around you, I mean, you just have yes men. They're going to do whatever you need. So,
and that's not helping anybody.
No, it's
like
not.
If I have a trash song and I just send it to you and you're like, oh, it's cool. It's like, that's
will
not
you
helping
send
me.
me songs to
Yes.
approve? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think like too, that when I heard about that through a live stream that you were doing, and I was like, I didn't even realize that was what it all meant, was the TYB. And
Yep.
so did you have people that didn't support you, or that people that you had around you that wasn't maybe had your best interest at heart? Can you call them out and take them?
Right. Greg? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I guess not as open. I think the one thing that I don't pay attention to is the negativity. There's a lot of stuff that's said behind doors. There's a lot of stuff that's said behind your back that you find out through other people, and I really just don't want to pay that any mind, and I don't want to bring light to it because it's not worth the time. But I have at times faced discrimination just based off of my personal identity, and I know that not everybody wants to listen to my music just for that fact, which can be hard at sometimes. But
it sucks for them.
Yeah,
they're missing out.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just me doing what I love and focusing on the audience that does want to do that, and no stance on anything should change that.
Can I dive into that a little bit now that you're talking about it?
Yeah.
So I mentioned this to you a little bit too, that in the music genre that you're in, it is predominantly, African American males who are straight, who talk about partying and women and this and that. And you said you faced some discrimination. Was it difficult for you, being a gay white man, being in this industry, not just music industry, but hip hop and rap?
Yeah, certainly. Well, the first thing I do want to say is that Black culture is the reason that I'm even talking to you right now. And we owe so much to the creators and the innovators of Black culture.
Agreed.
For pretty much anything that happens in pop culture. So I am a guest of that genre by that, just by saying that. I'm not the leader of that. It is something that I adapted into my, existence.
I mean, did you feel like you had a lot of support going into this, and like meeting other artists and meeting other people that you collaborated with?
Definitely.
In this genre particularly, did you feel like you had a lot more support or a lot more like pushback at first?
Yeah, I think support overall. I mean, nobody.
I mean, you're cool.
Nobody's
AF,
like,
so.
hey, you're white, I'm not gonna make music with you. Like that doesn't happen. If you're good, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're being true to yourself and you're not trying to be something else, I think that's what's really important. Me being in hip hop, I'm not trying to be like a thug or like this and that. I'm just being myself. and people will respect that.
You have a very
regardless.
unique sound too. Like I think like when I hear one of your songs, I know it's you. And even though I understand that you're a part of this genre, let's say, it's still your sound and your overall vibe that is very unique and genuine to who you are.
Yeah, I like to
So I
think
love
so too.
that.
So
I
glad
mean, I'm
you
a
agree.
real fan. All right, I'm not just like sitting here. I'm a real fan.
You
and
a fam. We don't.
I'm-
I don't have fans. It's
I'm
just
a fam, guys.
Yes.
Got that on camera.
Yep.
So I, wanted to talk a little bit about COVID. I think everyone's been affected by it, particularly because of the, just the festivals. There's too many people. Music festivals
yes.
have been canceled, concerts. I mean, I know restaurants and other industries have been affected, but music in particular, a lot of my musician friends have struggled a lot, done lots of live streams, have adapted, done what they could. Tell us a little bit about your journey and maybe touch a little bit on the SX South by Southwest.
Yeah, it's definitely the topic of discussion, for a while. And I think, it's important to note that everybody's facing these trials and tribulations. We're all being affected in some way or the other. This summer was going to be the biggest summer for me. We had a whole tour lined up. We had South by Southwest, which is a huge music festival, Pride festivals lined up, different shows, and we had to cancel all those plans. But, we just adapt. And we try to do different things. I think what I've been focusing on, since I can't make money through the shows and performing, is, well, I'm just gonna start creating content and just making sure that people know that I'm not quitting just because I faced some hardship and things got canceled.
You've adjusted your strategy, kind of.
Exactly. I have no time to sit here and pity myself and be upset at.
Because everyone's affected by it.
Exactly. So.
So you're gonna write a song particularly for this podcast and record it for us, right?
Yes. Like the intro.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so like background story. So we've had like 52 intros, and I was like, this one, because I love Key Wave, so Paul was on our show.
Yeah.
And I
Shouts to
wanted to
Paul.
hire him. Yes, he's the best, like the very best. Baby had Key coming in December, by the way. But he created this sound. I was like, oh, it's so dope. It's so cool. It's everything I wanted in a hip hop song. I sent him a whole bunch of songs that inspired me and what I wanted. And I was like, but I need a voice. I need somebody that is going to at least just do some ad libs or something like that. And then
you got me.
You were my first and only choice, and I'm so happy that you accepted because
I was so honored. You were like, just let me know what you need. I'm like,
I'll give you everything. My house, my IRA plan. Like I was gonna give you everything because I was just like, I need your voice. You're my first and only choice. Like ask cameraman. Like I was like nobody else. Otherwise, I was gonna struggle and I was gonna do it myself, which nobody wants to hear me sing.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful.
I mean, no, I think we do kind of want to hear you sing, to be honest.
No, it's horrible. Purple Rain.
I think we do. Yeah. Purple Rain.
No, it's horrible. I want to keep fans and get people, all right? Got to retain the people that I have following me right now. I can't do that. But yes, thank you so much. I mean, that sound, everything was perfect, and I appreciate it. You got it done like this. So
It was, yeah.
You're everything to me.
Miss You is it's kind of like a random anthemic thing. It's like, man, I miss you, like, I just miss you, like that kind of thing. And it's perfect for quarantine because we weren't able to see people for so long. And like, I don't know how many times I had to say that, like, I miss you.
After COVID, everybody's just so socially awkward now.
Yeah.
Like, can I touch you?
Can you tell?
Yeah.
What am I doing with my hands? I don't know.
I'm like a hugger. Like I'm always
Yeah,
like
same.
the tanner of the family. Like I want to hug everyone. I'm a hugger. And it's been really strange. And so, yeah, I do miss all my friends. I do miss all that. And I love that song so much for that reason. So.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of it's kind of a gender play on that song. So the title is MS, like Miss You. And through the song, there's a lyric that says, even girls trying to turn me straight. And so it's basically like, oh, just so you know, I was talking about a guy. I wasn't talking about a girl. And yeah, so that's kind of the quirky thing about that song. I have to have something quirky with every song, I guess.
You're
Controller
like really
2,
clever with how you come up with all your concepts, by the way. It's like some genius work behind the scenes.
It's just, it just happens. I don't know. Hey. I just want to know. Went down to Texas to work in the summer. Oh no. Spent the whole weekend with you and your mama. Where the hell you been? You were ever sent? Could add another man, it's irrelevant.
No, it ain't pretend. Need another chance. I don't wanna say goodbye while the feeling's there. Hey, it's just for fun, hey. But it kills me not to be. Yeah, man, I fucking miss you. Knew it all along, still motherfucking miss you. And I can't leave you alone. I need you out of my head. Top loose ends. Even when things get well, doesn't mean I don't miss you. Tell me who are you? I just wanna know the real you. Tell me who are you? I wasted my summer on what could've happened. Yeah. But what am I missing if I never had it? Yeah. Try to look ahead, but every now and then hit me when a random snap. Here we go again. I don't want revenge, just another chance. It's so hard to say goodbye while the feeling's there. Yeah. Tell me this is just for fun, hey. But it kills me not to be. Yeah, man, I fucking miss you. Knew it all along, still motherfucking miss you. And I can't leave you alone. I need you out of my head. Top loose ends. Even when things get well, doesn't mean I don't miss you. Come on, yo, the feeling's still there. Yeah, the feeling's still there. Even though you don't really care. Yeah, the feeling's still there. Yeah, the feeling's still there. Even though you don't really care. Come on. If you're at home, sing along with me. Hey, feeling's still there. Yeah, the feeling's still there. Hey. I even had a few days, but they all feel the same. Not good enough to stake a claim. And everyone I meet trying to recreate. Girls trying to turn me straight at the end of the day. Yeah, man, I fucking miss you. Do it all alone. Still motherfucking miss you. And I can't leave you alone. I need you out of my head. Have me on red. Even though I'm mad as hell, doesn't mean I don't miss you. Yeah. TeawhyB.
Cool. I'd say the second and the third one probably.
So I guess I want to go back to some of the music that you've made. You've done a lot of collaborations with lots of different unique artists, all with different sounds. Can you tell me a little bit about that process and kind of what you learned from each of those different artists and how that process was like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Every collaboration is different because sometimes it's remote. A lot of times I work remotely and it's just, you kind of piece together a song, different stuff like that. But the best times are when you get to collaborate in person and just start from scratch and create. So many collaborations are coming to mind right now. Miles Boulevard is someone that we're actually working on an EP together. So we're doing a joint EP. We have the song Sharpie out right now.
Yes,
and,
from your EP.
Yes.
Guess it's better you're a Sharpie, not a tattoo. Not a tattoo.
Yeah.
Live for
and,
it.
So it's kind of a nice blend of straight up bars from him, rap.
I thought you guys were frenemies though.
We are frenemies. He is denying the fact that he's the best rapper in the city, and so we've been
have
going
beef,
at that.
right?
Yeah, we had an Instagram battle where we complimented each other the entire time. But no, that's the homie, and super easy to work with him in that regard. Like we just flow. It just clicks. Kate McGarvey is one that comes to mind. The song Cabin. They just came over to the house. I had all the songs recorded, and they recorded it, and it was just easy.
Can I
flawless.
ask, so with Kate, let's say McGarvey, how do you come up with like the concept of the song, like what it's going to be about? How do you come up with that process with her?
Well, for Cabin, I actually had the song written, so I did all the songwriting, and then sent the lyrics. They practiced it, and I already had kind of the chorus and the first verse, so the second verse kind of played off of the first verse. But every situation is different. Sometimes, really, you do have to come up with the core concept of the song. Otherwise, it's like, where do you go from here?
So you approached them, and they were like, "Yes, we're in." Okay.
Absolutely, yeah, for that one. Yeah, but the process changes. It's not a one size fits all kind of thing. It might be somebody already has an idea, somebody doesn't have an idea. You start with the instrumental, or you start with lyrics, or you start with a harmony. It all just kind of depends. But
So we'll get our duet together
yes,
at some point. Okay.
yes. I'm just waiting for you to send me the reference.
Gonna work on it right after this.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Cabin is the song that's been my most popular one, and it's my favorite to perform. I just love it. It's so fun. It's easy going. It means so much to me. It's actually kind of like a nod to having a safe space for LGBTQ people, but it's also representative of me growing up. I have a huge family, and we all kind of had cabins in the same area, and it's always so fun and inviting, and let me fix you a plate, let me pour you a drink, like welcome to my home kind of vibe, and that it just means so much to me. Yeah.
Take me to a sun-tan place where I can be free. I'm calling in to work 'cause I don't wanna leave. I'm at the cabin by the lake, caught up in a wave, pouring up a drink, yeah. Gonna vacate, cabin by the lake, that's a hideaway, yeah. Just a whole lot of loving, not a word break inside. Sitting by my love account, stars at night, oh yeah. Well, alright, yeah. A little cabin by the lake, yeah. Everybody's welcome at our little place. You don't need any directions, I can show you the way. Let me tell you something about a place where I belong. Might be a little country with a hint of Al Capone, yeah. 'Cause the family's mobbing in the Northwoods. Ain't nobody judging as long as it makes you feel good. Can you bring some for the stone soup, baby? We can put it all together. I hate it when we leave, but weekends don't last forever. I'm at the cabin by the lake, caught up in a wake, pouring up a drink, yeah. Gonna vacate, cabin by the lake, that's a hideaway, yeah. Just a whole lot of love and not a worry inside. Sitting by my love account, stars at night, oh yeah. Well, alright, yeah. A little cabin by the lake, yeah. Everybody's welcome at our little place. You don't need any directions, I can show you the way. Let me tell you something about a place that we can go. Might be a little out there, but it's a home away from home. And if home's where the heart is, then I wanna be there with you. We can carve our names in a tree and say forever I do. Put a piece of timber on the fire, keep it burning, we gon' make it last forever. Hey, when we leave tomorrow, still smell the campfire on your sweater. I'm at the cabin by the lake, caught up in a wake, pouring up a drink, yeah. Gonna vacate, cabin by the lake, that's a hideaway, yeah. Just a whole lot of love and not a worry inside. Sitting by my love account, stars at night, oh yeah. Well, alright, yeah. A little cabin by the lake, yeah. Everybody's welcome at our little place.
Sweet. Cool.
So before we go, I want to talk a little bit about your EP. I mean, you're on the Billboard.
Yeah.
I sent you a snap that I almost got into a car accident about, just because I had to get this on the, just the fact that you're on the Billboard. Tell us a little bit about that EP and that
They had
journey.
to take it down because it was becoming a hazard with people. No, I'm just kidding.
It was because of me.
Well, so the EP is the body of work that I'm most proud of in terms of the 5 songs. They're all kind of like singles, in my opinion. I was doing a lot of releasing singles and stuff like that, and I really wanted to put out a joint project with, a full collection. And super proud of the way it turned out. It's fun, it's deep, it's a bunch of different things, but it's basically kind of a story on unrequited love and the app emoji dating scene that's kind of prevalent right now, and the ambiguity of not knowing how somebody actually feels about you, them leaving you on red, and all these different instances and heartbreak. But I always like to end things on a good note, so the last song, Cherry on Top, is kind of the optimistic out point of like, you know what, I'm over it. Throughout the EP, you get over the relationship and you get over whatever it was, and then at the end, you're like, I'm ready for new life.
Gotcha. So it was purposefully.
It was very
placed
purposeful,
that way.
yeah. And it was actually 7 songs. I cut 2 of them because I just like the flow of it.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Love you so much for being here, even though you're a little hungover.
And since we're talking about hugging, we're gonna hug.
We're gonna hug. Okay, like air hug or real hug? This is
Awkward
so. I
hugs.
told you this is awkward. This is like COVID happening here.
Just
so.
wait till our song drops. It's gonna be even more awkward.
How do you know? Watch, I'm gonna have like the best vocals ever.
You might.
But yes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
and
you.
Thanks for all the stickers. I'm gonna keep all of them. Nobody else gets them. And you're gonna still be my friend right after this, and we're gonna do
course.
lots of stuff together.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
We are not taking tequila shots.
Not after this. Thank you so much for being here.
Much love. Thank you.
Yes.
Don't stop. Making new friends, but we keeping it on. No one feels silver, the rest of them golden. That's cool. That's cool. Baby, money come and go, never selling my soul. See me on top, gotta stick to the code, and that's cool.